Imagine your tattooed son-in-law, Fred, just inherited half your net worth because you and your daughter suddenly died on a dream vacation. Your son-in-law now owns half your investment properties and half your incredibly large IRA and is openly hostile to your other beneficiary, your son. Well, that's exactly what happened with a client of mine who had 2 children. After my client's wife died, he put off updating his estate plan. His assets had grown substantially over the years. Both his daughter and son had married and had children. Even though he had a revocable trust and all his assets were properly titled in his trust, he chose to leave everything outright to his children rather than in a continuing trust. Prior to this once-in-a-lifetime trip with his daughter, he had talked about coming in to update his plan. Unfortunately, he never had the chance. Leaving everything to his daughter outright meant that his irresponsible son-in-law now received everything that his daughter inherited since he was her spouse. It was now up to his son-in-law to provide for his grandchild. All of that could have been avoided if he had timely updated his plan and left his daughter's inheritance to her in a continuing trust which became irrevocable upon his death. That would have assured that the money remained in trust for his grandchildren were something to happen to her. Of course, I don't like thinking about getting old, sick, or dying, or telling you to get your estate plan in order, but it's a fact of life. And if you have people you love, the responsible thing to do is make sure your estate plan is up to date. I'm Barbara Pizzolato, and I help people manage the rest of their continued living. If you, like our clients, have substantial wealth for which you have worked your entire life, you need to assure your assets remain with the beneficiaries you choose, not your son-in-law, like in the story I just shared with you. With an up-to-date revocable trust, you can protect your assets from creditors or a son-in-law like Fred, and put people in place you trust to manage your assets after you no longer can. Here are 3 things a revocable trust allows you to do. It allows you to choose who will be in charge of managing your assets for you during your incapacity and after your death. In my client's case, had he updated his trust, his trustee would have controlled the funds held in trust for the benefit of his grandchildren, and his son-in-law would have had very limited, if any, access to those assets. 2, it gives you complete control while you are on this side of the grass and not wiggly in the head. 3, it protects the inheritance of those you love. In my client's case, his kids' inheritance would have been held in trust after his death for their and their children's benefit. This would have prevented the son-in-law from having access to the funds. Nobody wants to think about death or incapacity, but it's a fact of life. It's so much better to be prepared than not, and an up-to-date revocable trust can do that for you. Let us help you or someone you know be prepared for the inevitable and schedule a free consultation so we can explore all of your options.